Welcome back. Now, on the tech segment today, we're highlighting a significant development in the world of transportation. Now, Rikus Badenhorst, who's the chair of the Select Committee on Public Infrastructure and Ministries in the presidency, has called on the Transport Department to step up its efforts to introduce digital driving licenses in South Africa. Now, to discuss the viability of this option and also how it could benefit South Africans, we have invited award-winning writer, analyst and technology commentator Arthur Goldstuck. Arthur, good morning and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sakina. Good to be chatting about something like this.
Indeed. And this has become such a problem, the issuing of driver's licenses in South Africa with machines breaking down and people questioning where we are at currently with regard to technological advancements. So do you believe that South Africa's current technological infrastructure is robust enough to support the widespread adoption of digital driver's licenses should we go that route?
We're definitely not there yet, Sakina. If you have ever been to Home Affairs and seen how often their computers are down, you can see the issues that are lurking here. But also, with smartphone use growing fast, we still have the situation that millions of South Africans have no reliable devices or coverage. It's not just about having a smartphone. It's also about having access to data, affordable access to data. So if we don't have alternatives for those citizens, we're going to exclude them from something as basic as the right to drive. So digital needs to enhance that access, not restrict it.
And to that point, Arthur, what infrastructure investments then would have to be made by government as well as ordinary South Africans on the end user side?
The single most important thing is going to be security. We need strong encryption, biometric verification, and systems that can work offline as well. So that's quite a challenge. And for that, we need best practice, not best connections with government when they award the tenders and the like. If the contracts go to the wrong vendors, for example, we'll end up with weak systems, wasted money, and damage to the ability of citizens to have this basic facility.
And just taking a look at countries who have introduced this, in some countries it is, of course, an option to having a physical card, of course. We see it in the Scandinavian countries, particularly also, Europe looking at introducing this as a block for the EU. But there are other countries who've made advances, some states in the United States as well adopting this. But what are your thoughts, with regard to the pitfalls that they have experienced in those countries who have tried this method?
When we look at the countries that have embraced digital driver's licenses, it's those with very advanced infrastructure like Estonia, Singapore, and South Korea and Denmark, for example. So already they have robust systems in place for all kinds of digital services. And on top of that, you're able to effectively roll out a digital driver's license. The EU is mandating it to be done by 2030 as an interoperable license across all their states. So you can see, just in the very fact of who is embracing it, what the challenges are to South Africa. If we can get it right and if we align with global standards, South Africans will be able to use those licenses abroad, and also it'll increase trust at home. That interoperability will save costs, but the problem is that it comes with a cost.
And we always talk, Arthur, about, combining systems here in South Africa. Could this be such an opportunity to start looking at the integration of various systems, combining, identity, documents, healthcare, services, voting, other financial services? Because if you think about it, some of us already use digital banking cards. So could this perhaps be seen as an opportunity to act as a springboard for something like that?
Very much so. We have already for many years had the potential of our identity cards, for example, being digital tools that enable voting, that include driver's licenses, and even in the future that would include passport and visa type facilities. And integrating payment into that is something that's already been available for years. In fact, in Nigeria, MasterCard tried that out years ago already. So the technology is proven. But the challenge is to make it easy and make it safe. And at the same time, people have to have a choice. For those who aren't digitally literate or don't have the access or the tools for a digital license, it has to run alongside a physical card at first. And then adoption will grow naturally, but you can't force people overnight into that.
So, Arthur, as you say, perhaps we're not quite ready, but what can we do in the interim, given the challenges that we are facing with the breaking down of machines that has caused severe backlogs? They are dealing with it now, the department, but the backlogs have occurred.
Well, part of the problem has been that CETA has been riddled with corruption. When they've had someone leading the state IT agency with the intention of fixing things, they've always been hamstrung by the need for someone to benefit from contracts. As soon as you take that issue out of the picture and you aim at having the best provider of the best technology, but also the people managing it being the best at the job, then things will start fixing themselves. But you simply cannot operate a system like this, and you cannot integrate these kind of systems when you still have the whole tender favor system that we still see happening.
Well, Arthur, thank you so much. Award-winning writer, analyst and technology commentator Arthur Goldstuck speaking to us there about our readiness as a country to adopt digital licenses and saying we're not quite there yet, but in the future, who knows, it may have to start off as a hybrid model and then we'll take it from there.